Does anyone consult the system help? In a not so remote or distant past, that is, until recently, I innocently pressed the F1 key on the keyboard, when I was surprised by an almost imperceptible reaction. Yes, it was a very profound experience and worthy of great observation. After all, I was really perplexed by what happened, and it even made me think I had pressed the wrong button. Without further ado, I will summarize what happened, and nothing happened. That's right, nothing, after pressing about 10 subsequent times. I understood that the software did not have the help or support or query solution associated with the F1 key. Yes, I was sad too, because this proves that the market is not easy for anyone, even for the F1 key, which after decades dedicated itself tirelessly to contributing to humanity, presenting windows containing information that sometimes really helped for the end user. That is, for us, the F1 key has lost its purpose. It really is the end of times. Now the F1 key is preparing your resume to enter the waiting list or filling out those 35 screen registrations with thousands of questions that are generally never read by anyone for a new job opportunity. Not to mention our lovely F1 key, you will have to put up with even more of your neighbor ESC, which only has a practical and direct profile with all operations, canceling and reversing anything that appears in front of you that suits you. Really, it's not a very favorable situation for our beloved F1 key. Of course, it is not always very enlightening. Pressing the F1 key in some systems, after all, it does not always help much. For example, if you are in the customer register and press this key, the help screen proudly and confidently presents the description, "This is the customer record." Or in a code field, it presents the help screen saying code, or in a name field, it presents the help screen, and guess what? There it is, name. And is it simple to set up a help screen for a system application? No, it is not. See, firstly, this help screen, no matter how simple it is not always included in the scope of the project. Believe me, I'm not making it up. For some software companies, many hours are set aside for development, but very few hours are allocated for documentation of this software, let alone for help screens for the applications present in it. After all, there is usually support for the system, so let it work itself out. Just look at how much the software company itself ends up losing as a result of this, as the cost it will end up assuming to answer some simple questions about screens, fields, operations, and purposes could be used to improve the software itself and expand it even further. After all, a system user doesn't want to keep calling technical support, he wants to resolve it himself. If the application has a help key for system applications, this will allow users to search for information, and believe me, if this help screen, it has, in addition to a glossary, script, purpose, process flow, also examples of operations, perhaps in video. Here is a system or application that will sell very well internally in companies, and can achieve longevity in them. Selling software is great, but keeping it with customers for a long time is even better. Therefore, dismissing the F1 key does not only harm it, but the longevity of the system in the company, and this could also result in new sales. Another aspect linked to this, but looking at the software factory and projects, is to consider that this help screen or help document or some type of action that saves the user in their daily doubts must be considered as part of the application project and not as an improvement thereof.